blank stare.
Good evening, I'm Haley Bianco. Coming up in the newscast, a vote is to be held on Facebook privacy and legal rights, and a bill has been passed in Uganda.
And I'm Steve Majiri, and I have details from Kevin Morton's last game at KU. I also have men's basketball, and I have my shout-out segment. Also, we have Kyle Aschenfelder with the weather. Newsbreak begins now.
Tomorrow night from 7 to 9:30 in the Alumni Auditorium, come see Jason Regier. Jason is a gold medal Paralympian who participated in the 2008 and 2012 U.S. Paralympic rugby team. Jason will talk about everything from his life, from the accident that caused his paralysis to his participation on the U.S. rugby team. This weekend, the Miller Center for the Arts is holding the 3rd annual family favorite musical tradition, The Snowman. It is a beautifully drawn film based on the classic children's book by Raymond Briggs, and it comes to life with a score played by the Kutztown University Orchestra. It will also be conducted by Dr. Will Rapp. This production is generously underwritten by Mrs. Martha Hafer. And now for a look at the upgrades to the ResNet system here on campus.
Recently, students have found that the internet on campus has vastly improved. Here in Johnson Hall, we'll ask the coordinator of ResNet, Bill Eben, what's changed.
Well, the major change is that since last year we effectively doubled the amount of bandwidth on campus, which basically just means that we doubled the capacity of the amount of data that can flow to and from the internet. We were able to do that because ResNet finally paid off a bond. We had wired the residence halls for network access 15 years ago, and we had a 15-year bond to pay off that debt. We finished that up, so with the money that was freed up, we put it into additional bandwidth, figuring that would give students the most bang for their buck, because that's what students really see is if there's any kind of lag getting to the internet, that's very noticeable to them.
We then asked if the increase in bandwidth had helped any.
Anecdotally, we can see that there's definitely has been a positive response from the students, meaning that kind of no news is good news. We haven't heard any complaints, so we assume things are running good. The few students that we've talked to that we have gotten feedback from have all given us very positive response, saying that things like video, streaming applications, things like that are working much better now that we've doubled the bandwidth. Now
we'll talk to a returning student and get their opinion on the internet this year versus last year.
This semester, I've found it a lot easier to do those things in what used to be peak hours, and kind of makes it a lot faster. I've noticed a significant difference in the speeds of the internet this semester.
They mentioned peak times. Let's find out about when those peak times were.
Previously, they were between 10 a.m. and 2 a.m., so like a nice 16-hour span. And now it's more like 8 p.m. to midnight.
As you've heard, the internet on campus is a lot better this year, and hopefully will continue to get better as the years go on.
So Steve, how do you feel about ResNet upgrading its system?
Yeah, it's great. Does that mean that we won't have to install Secure Connector every time we go online?
Hopefully not. That is so inconvenient.
If so, then golf clap for ResNet.
And stay tuned. We'll be right back after this with your weather forecast. Well, it finally feels like it's becoming winter. It snowed today.
No, it's like the planet Hoth out there.
Yeah, so let's find out if there'll be more snow in the future. Let's go to Kyle now with the weather.
Yes, guys, it sure is a winter wonderland. This morning I woke up and I thought I was in Narnia. I was going to go outside and look for some Turkish delight because I was a little hungry, need a little bit of breakfast. But then I woke up from that dream and am in the real world. So it did snow. It was a nice day out still. A little bit of a rough commute to class, but not too bad. We had a high of 34 degrees today, and of course we had all that snow. Tonight we're going to have a partly cloudy night, low of 21. It's going to be really chilly out, so make sure you wear a coat if you're outside because it's going to be very cold. Tomorrow we have a high of 39 degrees. It's going to be partly sunny and a low of 23. And now we'll go to the rest of the week in the 5-day forecast. It's going to warm up, actually, for the rest of the week. On Thursday, we're going to have a high of 39, and it'll be very sunny that day, so it'll be a nice day to be outside, at least if you have a hoodie or something. On Friday, we have a high of 44, a cloudy day, and another high of 44 on Saturday, partly cloudy. And Sunday, it's going to get even more warm, and we're going to have a high of 50. It'll be nice and cloudy. And Monday, a high of 55, even warmer than the rest of the week. Partly cloudy that day. And yeah, so we're getting close to the end of November, so guys you're growing your November beards, you have like a couple more days until you have to shave it off, and then it's time for Dashing December, where you stay clean shaven all month. Yes, I created that. So make sure you do that in December and stay dashing. Back to you guys at the desk.
Facebook will hold a vote in which it will ask users to abolish their right to vote on changes to the social network's privacy policies. We deeply value the feedback we receive from you during our comment period, writes Elliot Scourge, Facebook's Vice President for Communications, Public Policy, and Marketing. For a vote to upend one of Facebook's proposals about its privacy policy, more than 30% of users have to cast digital ballots. That means more than 300 million people would have to vote. Finally, some Facebook users seem not to be bothered that the company wants to take away their right to vote. That's a right some people didn't realize they had anyway. The Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament has promised she will pass the so-called Kill the Gays bill in the next 2 weeks. Uganda experts say that one way to stop the bill is to get pressure from banks that have significant resources invested in the country, such as Citibank and Barclays. The bill would legalize the death penalty for LGBT people and people with HIV or AIDS. Citibank and Barclays are both big supporters of LGBT rights for their own employees, yet they invest money with a government that is threatening to execute LGBT people. If you would like to protest the bill and want to have Citibank and Barclays stand up against Uganda, you can sign a petition at the website below. Well, that is just crazy about Uganda, don't you think?
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like that before.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
Definitely should check out that petition at that website.
You should.
But we'll be right back after this with sports.
Kick it.
And now sports, where the KU football team ended its season on a high note with a hard-fought 14-12 win over LIU Post. On senior day, quarterback Kevin Morton threw for 224 yards and 2 touchdowns in his final game in the maroon and gold. The second-team All-PSAC quarterback started out the scoring with a 23-yard touchdown strike to Brett Fox in the first quarter. The play was set up in large part to a 47-yard run earlier by All-Conference running back Curtis Wortham. The Golden Bears would score on their next possession with an 11-play, 81-yard drive that was capped off by a 32-yard touchdown catch by Fox. The Golden Bears would then give up a score on their next drive with a 1-yard quarterback sneak by quarterback Grayson Lorino. KU's explosive offense was held in check for the next few drives as each team would punt twice on its last 2 possessions of the first half. KU was shut out offensively in the entire second half for the first time since November of last year. However, the defense managed to hold the Pioneers to just 1 touchdown all day. LIU Post made the game interesting as they marched down towards the KU 16, and the game ended in thrilling fashion as senior Kyle Ubereth blocked the would-be game-winning kick as time expired. With the win, KU has won its 4th straight game and its 6th of its final 7 games. The prestigious senior class was sent off the right way as Kevin Morton finished his illustrious career with 11,612 yards passing, which is 11th in Division II history. Morton also finished his career with 119 touchdown passes, which is 4th in Division II history. The Golden Bears finished 7-4 overall with a 4-3 record in the PSAC East. The team will lose many great players to graduation, but they have certainly set the tone for the underclassmen and should continue the program's success. Now to men's basketball, as the Golden Bears lost in a thriller to Philadelphia University with a final score of 70-69. Senior Micah Fraction once again led the Golden Bears in scoring with 16. Tyler Brooks, Tracy Peel, and Ryan Connolly also scored in double figures with 10, 12, and 11 points respectively. KU was tied with Philadelphia at 2 separate occasions during the game until a 3 by Tyler Brooks gave KU the lead. However, Philadelphia roared back with an 8-4 run and would not look back for the rest of the game. KU made the game interesting near the end, but Philadelphia made its free throws at the end and held off KU's late game run. The Golden Bears will hit the hardwood again tonight at 7 p.m. at Keystone Arena. Now for my shout-out segment. This week's shout-out goes to Jack Taylor of Grinnell College. Now you may be wondering why I'm giving a shout-out to a random Division III basketball player. Well, last week, Taylor set the NCAA record for points scored in a game with 138 points. Taylor shattered Revo Francis's record of 113 points set in 1954. Taylor also set records for field goals attempted, field goals made, and threes attempted. For someone to put up such ridiculous numbers in a college game is truly amazing. The stat that truly amazes me is that Taylor hit 18 threes in the last 20 minutes of the game. If I were the opponent, I would have double-teamed him or at least not let him shoot so many threes. 138 points is more than Wilt Chamberlain's NBA record when he scored 100. I don't think I could score 138 points in a video game, and honestly, I think they should make a movie about this, or at least Taylor should write a book, because this is one of the most ridiculous scoring outputs I have ever seen in sports. That's all for shout-out.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight.
For everyone here at Newsbreak, good
Good
night.
night.